If you want to see how fast your code is, this is the right video for you. I'll show you how to put a stopwatch on your code. But first, we need to import some modules. I need to import the time module, and I'll give it alias t, and then a random module, and I'll give it alias r. Then, I'll show you how to sort an array and also measure how fast your sorting algorithm is. I will use a very common sorting algorithm called bubble sort. The only parameter that it will have is going to be an array. Then I want to traverse that array with two for loops for I in range len of array. Then another for loop for j in range len array -1. You will see why I needed this -1 in a moment. And then I want to check if the current position of j, I mean the value of the current position, is greater than the value of the next one. This way, I check if the current element in an array is greater than the next one. As you can see, I use this +1 here. That's why I don't need to check the last element. It's covered here. If that's true, then I want to swap those two values. And I'll do that like this. In Python, it's very easy to swap two values. You can simply use this code here. How this bubble works. This if compares the adjacent elements, and if the one behind, this one, is greater than the next one, then it swaps them. So, in reality, it actually moves the biggest element at the end of an array. And this for I in range ln, it actually repeats the procedure n times, which guarantees the array will be sorted in the end, as I will prove to you with some examples. But first, I need to print my array. To see how slow your algorithm is, I need to use some very big numbers, and I don't want to create arrays manually. That's when random steps in. I'll use a while loop that will always be true, and you will see how I will break from it. But first, I want to store, I want my user to write the number of elements in an array that he wants, and for that I will use input. But I have a problem. Input returns a string, and I want an integer, so I will convert this into an integer. Then, if n is less than or equal to 0, I want to break from this loop. Now it's time to create my random list. How I can do that? For example, my list will be equal to, I will use a list comprehension, r.randint. This randint function has two parameters. First is the starting position, and the second one is the ending number. This will generate numbers from 1 until 100, but they will be integers. And I want to do that how many times? N times. That's why I needed a list comprehension. So I'll here write for I in range n. Now it's time to create our stopwatch. How we do that is first we measure the current time and store it in a variable. S will be equal t.time. This returns a time. Then I want to run my code that I want to measure, which is in my case this bubble function. And then I also get the ending time, e-time, t.time. So this code here will measure the time I need to execute this bubble function. Everything between these e and s will be measured. And now I can print that. Print, but I need to round the number because it will have a lot of decimals. And multiply it by 1000 because it will give me a very small number. And minus s times 1000. And also I want 2 decimals only. I don't need more. Now when I run this code, here if I write 10, as you can see, it sorted my array But also, it printed the time I needed to sort that array, which is 0 seconds. But if I write here 1000, it actually needed 74 milliseconds. This is in milliseconds. That's important to mention. But if I write here 10,000, as you can see, it takes a while. It actually needed 10 seconds. Your computer will be faster, you have to take in account the time recording now. So I have a lot more resources spent on recording than on sorting. For you, it should be around 3 to 4 seconds. And if I write here 0, my code stops. I hope you found this video useful. If you want to find out about more useful functions, you will see the link to my functions list tutorial right here. And also, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss my next video.